Hello everybody, I've collected some really interesting new news about GTA 6. Of course, GTA 6 is still receiving fresh details and is actively participating in various events. Therefore, you will learn the latest and most interesting things from this video. So, congratulations to Rockstar Games on the popularity of the second GTA 6 trailer. The second trailer not only surpassed the first, shown at the end of 2023, but even broke the record for all GTA trailers. There are already more than 120 million views on this video, so that you can understand the GTA 5 trailer has collected the same amount in 12 years. It turns out that in just a month, that record was broken, and it shows how much people are waiting for the release of the new part of Grand Theft Auto. And, let's be honest, your views there are also far from few. And mine too, because we've all watched the trailer many times. I personally reviewed it a bunch of times, because I was doing the analysis again, looking for various interesting points. There are details, Easter eggs, and something else. Therefore, my views there are also far from few. It's a funny situation here, because every new trailer for the game is more popular than the last one. And theoretically, the third trailer will break the current record and collect more than 120 million views. We're betting on how many views the third trailer will get whenever it comes out. By the way, there are still rumors about the preparation of the next trailer. So far, the information is at the level of fan theories and even analyses, but presumably it is being prepared for the fall, maybe for the end of autumn or December, because in December, for example, the first trailer was shown, so that's also a good option. And in fact, it will be a very cool gift for fans who will receive new information and a reason to disassemble the new trailer at the end of the year. Bloggers will have content, and developers will have a new reason to raise the hype on the game, so everyone will be happy. And just before the game is released, there will only be about 6 months left. And the less time left before the game is released, the more interest there is. But the final trailer will most likely be shown just before the release. And now that trailer will probably have the most details and, perhaps, even show some gameplay moments. Another interesting news that should not be missed concerns the actress Lucia. Funnily enough, the developers still haven't confirmed who exactly is playing Lucia and Jason. But fans assume that the girl was played by actress and model Manny Perez. So, the actress suddenly disappeared from the public space. She suddenly hid all her social media accounts and has not been in touch. Many people started building crazy theories that she wasn't involved in GTA and was just promoting herself that way, but now it's like they burned it all down and she just decided to hide. But in fact, this is complete nonsense, and it seems to me that everything is much simpler there. Personally, it seems to me that the girl was just annoyed with various GTA questions. Imagine that you just post photos from the gym, for example, or from some kind of personal life, and under the comments there are questions about GTA. That is, people do not comment on the photos themselves, not on the actress herself, but only on the game in which this girl is being filmed. This is not to mention personal messages, which may have different contents. And there may be questions not only about GTA, but also more personal questions and photos. We all know what people do online. So we also take this into account, but there is a second theory that the actress has now been banned from contacting and not to say too much. Although the girl did not disclose any important details of the development and was not noticed for any disclosures. But now is a rather important period when the Take-Two conference is coming soon and there is very little left before the release. Perhaps the developers are just insured against leaks of gameplay information. But the first version is closer to me that the girl is just tired of various questions. But then the question is that there will be more questions when the game itself comes out, and it turns out that Manny Perez is still playing Lucia. And then the fans will just become real fans of this girl. Plus, the actors who starred in GTA often go to various fan meetings about 5 times a year, so most likely the actors of Jason and Lucia will often attend such events. So no matter how hard she tries, she just can't hide from the public. As for the conference, we know that it is scheduled for August 7th. This will be a regular meeting with investors, where the most important issues will be discussed. Most often, these questions relate specifically to profits, finances, reports, and everything else. So in this regard, it is unlikely that anything will be published for you and me. But it will still be an interesting conference, because after it we should hear 2 answers to 2 questions. Firstly, It is after this conference that we should finally find out whether GTA 6 will be released in May next year, or whether there will be a postponement. Strauss Zelnick is an unreliable guy in this regard, but he just has to give a comment on this. It's not a fact that this comment will be true, because he confirmed 7 times that GTA will be released at the end of this year, but as we can see, the transfer did happen. But in principle, after this conference, you can already decide to buy a PS5, because most likely the game will definitely not be postponed to the end of next year. Secondly, ports and reissues will be discussed at this conference. Of course, this includes the GTA 4 port, which Rockstar accidentally highlighted on its website quite recently. And there is a very high probability that the port will be released just before the end of August. Remember, last year, before the conference in August, there were also various leaks of the Red Dead Redemption port. Of course, he was confirmed at the conference, which also made us happy, and just a couple of weeks later, he was already released. And that's all during August. So it's worth waiting for the announcement of the GTA 4 port. Well, maybe they'll say something about RDR2 too, otherwise we're still waiting for updates for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. An equally interesting situation happened with rapper Travis Scott. He recently released a new music video featuring a new part of Grand Theft Auto. At the moment when the car is shown, the name of the game is visible on the numbers. There have already been various conspiracy discussions that the musician is hinting at his participation in GTA in this way, but not as a character, but as a separate radio station on which his songs will be played. And since the game was featured in this particular clip, this new song may also appear in the game at the time of release. In fact, it's not even interesting that Travis Scott's music will appear in the game. Well, most likely it will definitely appear, just like the music of other famous musicians. It's probably more interesting here that he showed the name of the game right in the clip. As you know, you can't just take the name of the game and just show it in your video. That is, most likely there are different agreements, documents, and some other nuances. So in any case, it was agreed with Rockstar Games that they gave the green light to add such a reference. Perhaps even Rockstar decided to buy advertising from the rapper in this way. The question is that GTA doesn't need advertising anyway, so it's not clear yet what's going on. Strange and illogical insights from analysts continue to appear. This time, Convoy performed its analysis, suggesting that GTA 6 will earn $7.5 billion in 2 months after its release. I'll just say that this is utter nonsense. Of course, the game will earn a lot of money. I can even agree that the game will definitely earn at least $1 billion in a month or two. Maybe 2 billion, maybe 3 billion, but definitely not 7.5 billion. This is such a large figure for such a short period that it is simply unrealistic. Let's remember that a year ago, Take-Two reports actually showed a profit of $8 billion through March 2027. But this amount does not apply only to GTA. It is a general forecast for the profit that the company should earn from all its projects coming out before a specific period. It is very doubtful that GTA 6 alone will earn 98% of this amount. In the long run, it is possible, and this will make the game probably the best-selling game in history. But that's kind of questionable too. Moreover, analysts are already boldly making other predictions. And this is against the background of the fact that the game is not even really clear whether it will appear in May next year. They predict that the game will cost $80 already, that 85 million copies will be sold in 2 months after its release, and that the popularity of the game will increase the sale of GTA Plus and GTA Online subscriptions. Well, it means that people will also buy donations, there are different upgrades, and everything else. These forecasts are based only on the popularity of the game, which is rather strange because analysts do more in-depth analyses and not just go through superficially. So we can predict all this without analysts too. Rockstar Games has closed its old service and social club, and games that use this service, you can no longer use network functions, and any transition inside the social club throws you to the main page of the beer. Developer's website. This has a hidden meaning. Rockstar Games may be preparing a new service that will be launched before the release of the new part of Grand Theft Auto. Maybe it will be something similar, or maybe it will be something completely new. Or maybe the developers will limit themselves only to their launcher and think that this is more than enough. It's probably interesting that GTA 6 will have social networks inside the game that you can enter and subscribe to various other characters. Perhaps in this regard, there will be some connection with the new service and social networks inside the game. That would be interesting, because it would probably take such mechanics to a new level. And let's be honest, which of you has taken full advantage of all the features of the social club? I think it's 1.5 people. The others forgot about this service after the first registration, so the games won't get any worse from this. And in principle, everything works the way it used to. It's just that right now, you can't view profiles there, go to some other posts, watch achievements and everything else. And now, let's pay attention to the statement of the Detective Seeds Insider. The new GTA will still run at 60 FPS, but only on the PS5 Pro. And on a regular PS5, there will be only 30 FPS. At the same time, the Pro will have 2 graphics modes at once, as it used to be on the regular PlayStation 5. However, there were no clarifications, but you can guess that this is a quality mode with an emphasis on graphics and ray tracing, and there will also be a performance mode with an emphasis on increased frame rate. On the regular version of the PS5, there will not even be game modes. In quality mode with tracing, high detail and 30 FPS, it's actually not that bad. If the PS5 has a pretty picture, then 30 frames won't bother me in any way. Also, according to an insider, Sony is now helping Rockstar achieve good optimization specifically for the PS5 Pro. It might even be part of their agreement to promote the console itself. By the way, the PS5 Pro and GTA kits should be available next May, so you can wait for the release and buy the console right away with the game. However, the issue of the price of such a kit has not yet been clarified. Perhaps it will be a little expensive because the price for the PS5 Pro itself is also far from small. Plus the game, plus there are various bonuses, there are some other bells and whistles. In general, you will have to overpay there. But you know, I get the impression that Sony will simply lose its head from the high sales of the PlayStation 5 Pro and will only promote it. Because they'll realize that they don't have to make their own games now to sell PlayStation, and just GTA, which is being created by a completely different company, is enough for that. And it is not yet fully clear how true all this information is. It seems that this insider has already made some statements, and they have never come true. He even deleted his past statements so that he would not be criticized there. So we treat information with caution. In general, this is all the collected news on GTA and Rockstar games. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned at least something new. But for the rest, GTA's expectations continue and we still have a long wait. Of course, it will take less than a year to wait, but in fact it will take a year, IT. The only good news is that a GTA 4 port on consoles may be released soon, and this will help pass the time. Finally, there will be at least an opportunity to go through the 4th part to the end. Thank you for your support, for your views, for your attention, and bye-bye.